Hi! This time I am going to talk about how the world is alive in Dungeons & Dragons and any other tabletop role-playing game, and you should take advantage of it. This is going to feature the recent part of my Ravenhawk campaign. So this is going to contain spoilers. You will find the campaign in the description below. And specifically spoilers for the Curse of Strahd. During that session, it was quite evident that it is possible to take on any adventure site with particular ease, with little hassle, as long as you understand that the world around you is alive and you can use all of those elements, be it objects, zones, the site itself, and the non-player characters, as means to eliminate unnecessary battles altogether. There is a mistake of people playing tabletop role-playing games as if they were board games or video games, and they feel as if they have to go through so many unnecessary encounters. This was highly criticized unfairly, in my opinion, when it comes to several Pathfinder First Edition modules. They saw these high-level adventures for characters of 15 level or above, with many different sections and subsections and bases, cities, and people would look at them and would say, oh, at 15th level, it's going to take so long to handle each of those encounters. What about the different factions, the allies, the precise approach when it comes to taking on only the necessary combats or battles? If you are running things with a good game master, he or she is going to give you experience for clever solutions. In the case of the Ravenhawk campaign, and on the part 7, I highly recommend that you watch the last part of that session, because after the game, RPG Grandma gives you some excellent pointers on how to take on different adventure sites. In that session, RPG Grandma as Moo, she started to come up with some very creative solutions. Well, from a general perspective, the entire party at the start took advantage of the War Ravens to come up with this plan of using them as a distraction while they were to approach the site as carefully as possible. The moment they got into the stables where the horses were being kept, RPG Grandma basically, she pretty much slapped the horses and they went running. And because the druids wanted those horses for whatever purpose, perhaps to ride them, perhaps to sacrifice them, one of the druids went after the horses with his minions. So now the coast is clear to keep on infiltrating this adventure site. Then Eli, as Marcus, went into stealth mode, made his way into the next room, and saw that there were too many enemies in that room. Very risky. They had separated from the non-player characters, Irina and Bismarck. Oh no, not yet, that comes first. They had separated from the War Ravens. So they started to come up with some plans on how to divide and conquer, or perhaps set up an ambush, because there were too many enemies. Some other people that do not roleplay could have approached the situation in a video game way, trying to go into the room, kill the stuff, go into the next room, kill that other stuff, never thinking about these clever solutions. This is vital when it comes to the more difficult situations, and especially when you are outnumbered. Remember that the Curse of Strahd is a module for 4 to 6 player characters. There are some people that simply will not run it unless they have a full party of 5 or 6 adventurers, because they are taking things on from a video game or board game angle. So what the party do? They decided to go with the following plan. Irina and Ismark, they would go from a different angle, start causing havoc, mayhem, to attract some of the enemies. And so now you have divided the enemy force and you can take on the remaining forces. They also counted on the presence of the War Ravens to do just that. And they started to infiltrate the entire place, and relying on Marcus's demonic patron when it comes to going up directly. It was so all taking advantage, all handled by taking advantage of the game world, of the non-player characters, of the structure itself, of the things they encountered in the case of the horses. And RPG Grandma was still coming up with some plans. She put some hay in her pockets. Perhaps she was trying to cause a controlled fire. We will never know. Perhaps she will do that later on. She still has the hay in her equipment. So it's all about that. Remember that the world is alive. I also like that Marcus, Elias Marcus, he handled that character evolution. He wanted to multi-class as a sorcerer, warlock, sorcerer. He had that demonic background to his character. He has his demonic patron or fiendish patron, but he wanted the character to have a change of mind because of his interaction with the Morning Lord. And he had Big Bad RPG, role-playing as Jace. So you had a cleric of the Morning Lord ready to facilitate that conversion, that awakening, perhaps you could say. And the moment they found out about this sacred pool, they went there, and there was this sort of eldritch baptism, because with the thunder that Strahd made in his anger because he lost Irina or Tatiana, this holy water was sprayed everywhere. And in a certain way, Marcus was blessed by this water, and now he has been touched. This divine property, this virtue has taken over, and now he can evolve as a sorcerer. That's another great way of handling level ups and multi-classing. It has to do with the character's background. Sometimes it is not so necessary. The character is improving as he or she experiences adventures. They become stronger. They find out new ways on using different powers, abilities, feats. They understand the spells that at first were unfathomable. With a bit more research throughout their adventures, by applying their spells against different situations, enemies, now they level up and they understand how to cast more powerful spells, or even improved versions of the previous spells. And this is all because the world is alive. Whenever you take on any sort of adventure, you can work with the world, mechanically and thematically. Do you want to solve problems? You want to avoid unnecessary fights? Do you want to make some battles easier? You have all of the terrain, all of the structures, all of the architecture, the non-player characters, the animals, the creatures, everything, the factions, the objects that you find along the way, all of that and more. All of that and more can be used to handle any situation, as long as you roleplay, as long as you play a role within this fictional environment by describing your actions and your reactions. As always, what an amazing session. I'm looking forward to our next session that is going to happen this Thursday. It's going to be very exciting. Please check it out if you haven't seen it. Once again, thank you for watching my videos. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know. As always, thank you for your comments, your questions, your likes. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. And remember, it is better to roleplay and fail in character than not to roleplay and fail as a player. And roleplay solves everything. Once again, thank you, and see you later.